everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni, and I am going to finish up this ridiculously simple journal for a guy friend. And I hope that you figured out that you could use other colors and make this for a woman as easily. Okay, so what we've done is we've done the cover. It's kind of a collage, okay, and then I've painted the inside, and there are still some wet pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and just blot this so that it can dry a little bit faster while I'm working on getting my signature together. So we've got just a few spots that are coming up here. I'm just going to blot it so that and then I can always use this paper too, like I'll probably use it for franking paper or something. But let's go ahead and use the roller so that we can really make sure that we blot this well. Okay, still getting some paint from that center part there. Oops. I love this roller, but sometimes it comes apart. I guess that makes it easier for cleaning. I guess that's the purpose of it. Okay, we're still getting some from the center, so let's go ahead and we're going to use the roller on it a little bit more. And as you've seen, this has all been really, really easy. I've recorded most of the work that I've done on it. There's just like a little bit that I figured you didn't need to watch me putting the ink on all those pieces, so I didn't record all that. But I mean, this really has not taken very long. I could make a bunch of these in quick time if I wanted to, for lots of little extra gifts. And you could make them small enough that they could be that's got quite a bit still too, that they could be stocking stuffers if you wanted to. You could make these in any size. I've just chosen to use this size because I'm going to use coffee dyed paper that I've made that I'm not going to cut it or anything, so it's full size. Okay, so I'm going to show you this a little bit more closely so that you can see it. So this is the inside that we painted. It was really, really easy to do. Okay, and I used like 5 different colors of paint. I think there's a little bit of gold in there. Okay, here's the front cover like this. Just very simple. And I might, his name is Ken and he sails, so I might write Captain Ken right there or something. I'm not sure. It may be the year or something. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. And then I've just got just a bunch of like junky pieces of paper. I've got some yarn hanging out from places just to make it look a little more shabby chic. Okay, so very simple. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit more while I put together my signature to go inside of it. Okay, so I got this box from a friend. She sent me, I think, candies in it or something for Christmas a few years ago, and it was just like, this is so perfect for my coffee stained paper. So I've got a whole bunch here that I've made, and it's got different colors and different textures on it and stuff. So I'm going to go through and see if I can find, I usually use about 15 pages for a signature, but I'm not putting any pockets or anything, so it's not going to be so thick. So I'm thinking maybe 20 pages would be good. Okay, so that's nice. I like that. That came out with a really nice color. This one, there's not like anything special. Since I'm using it, I'm not doing all the extra stuff in it. I want pages that look kind of cool. Okay, here's some too. And he drinks coffee too, so that's always fun. Oh, that one's nice, actually. Okay, so that's 3. But I want to find some that have some other, like I sometimes use patterned surfaces that I put them on to dry. I'm seeing something down here that's a little bit different. That's good. So that's 4. I want to find some with some patterned surfaces. That one's nice. I spent like a whole day coffee dyeing one time months ago, and I haven't really used them since then. That one's good. I might possibly, oh, see, here's one. That looks cool. That looks like matzo. But there's that white on it. I'm going to have to doctor that sometime with some ink, so I'm not going to use that for this one. Here's a piece. See, now that's torn, so that's really nice. That looks really cool. Gives us our shabby chic look. Ooh, look at that nice dark paper. That's nice. Still smells like coffee too, you guys. It's very cool. Okay, that one. See what else we have here. I don't want too many with that one pattern. Hoping that I have, oh, here we go. Well, this is lace. I don't really think I want to put lace in a guy's journal. That one's neat. That's cool. Okay, then these ones are hand torn. Do I want to put, no, I just want to have just pages that are just normal. So I think I'll go through and just find some plain old coffee dyed papers here. That's good. Okay, so let's see how many we have. See if we have enough. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we could really use about 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's good. Let's see if I can just really quickly straighten these and get them back in. Okay. Where's my lid? This is such a cool old box. I really like it. Okay, that was from Yuri, that box. Okay, so then we're going to fold all these. We get them into the order that I want them in first. Now, I don't want to have, you know, like ones that have the same design or the same coloring right next to each other. See, and this has a nice little torn corner. We'll just leave that because that's really cool. Okay, so these are all three kind of the same. These 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to, 7, 8. We're going to kind of mix those in with the others. I really like this one. This one can be like the front, the first page. I think that's cool. Okay, and then I'll put one of these plain ones here. And then I think more like what I need to do is look for the pages that are really cool, like that dark color there. Because I don't want to have a bunch that are all the same right together. Okay, there we go. There's one of those ones with the design on it. Ooh, even better like that. Okay. Let's put in a couple more of these pages here before we have another like this. And these coffee dyed papers, you know, they're not real flat either, so they're going to be, it's going to make the book thicker, so we have to be careful about not having too many for that reason too. Okay, so I think that's going to be good. Okay, so let's get these all straightened out. That might be too thick. I may have to go down to 15. We'll see. Okay, can I move my chair without bumping the camera? We'll see. I'm going to try folding these and then we'll see if it's going to be too thick. So the best thing is not to fold them all at once, but to fold them, you know, like 2 or 3 at a time. Okay, and you want to, now if I were using torn paper or something, I would try to make them uneven, but since I'm using paper like this, I'll probably just go ahead and make them pretty much even. I'm not, you know, spending a lot of time making sure that I get it exactly right, because I do kind of want the edges to be, you know, a little raggedy and rugged. I don't want them to be perfectly lined up, but I'm not alternating them as much as I would normally. These are all going to be one signature, so this really, seriously, I might have too many papers. I'm not sure, because it might make it too thick. That's pretty, isn't it? Pretty color. Okay, yeah, I think I can't really go with any more. Let me just make sure that I'm not cutting out any of the papers that I really, really liked. That I want to be sure to include. Yeah, these are all pretty just normal. Okay, so how many papers do we have? And let's see how they fit into each other. So if you have 15 papers, you know, you're folding them in half, so that makes basically like 30, but you're doing both sides, so that's 60 pages if you use 15 sheets of paper. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is what I'm using. Okay, oh, I don't want this in the center. Let's put something else. That one's a good one in the center. Oops, but I don't want that next to another one just like it either. Ooh, this one's nice for the center. Let's use that. There we go. Okay, that's nice. Actually, should I use this in the center? No, I like that. That is so pretty. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to put it into the cover. I want to make sure that it's completely dry first, so I don't get any paint on the first pages or anything like that. So let's just make sure that we don't have any paint that's still... Oh, that's great. Okay, so now we're going to bind it. Okay, so where is my little board? I got it so it would be ready for me. No, what happened to it? Here it is. Okay, so I have a piece of siding from my house. A lot of people just use like an old book or something and open it up to the pages. Okay, so this is the front. I'm going to put the sheets in like this. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, and then I've got what I need for binding it. You need book binding clips. Okay, you need an awl. You need a needle, big needle, like a, I don't know, what is that, like a crewel embroidery needle? And then you need whatever you're binding it with. I'm using leather for this one, but you can also use twine. I use twine a lot, like this. Okay, and actually I'm starting to, I think twine might be better than leather. No, I think leather is going to be fine. Okay, I like leather because it's really masculine. I just was concerned that maybe the colors won't be, but I think it'll be great. Okay, so I use twine quite a bit. It's very strong and it's a great way of binding things. So, you know, if that's what you've got, then that's great. Okay, and I'm going to do 3 holes. So first I need to make sure that this is all set in the way that I want it. So I don't want it, the paper coming quite to the bottom. I want it about halfway between the bottom and the top there. Okay, and then I'm going to use the binder clips. And you want to put the binder clips on with your book closed, okay? Because you want the pages to go all the way down into the bottom. So put the binder clips on, see, like this, okay? And then I'm going to put them down a little bit farther because it just works better if they're not running into each other. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to push it down into the cover just so I make sure that it's in there tightly. Oh, for some reason I only have 3, but that's okay. I'll be fine. Should have 4. I think I've got the other one in the kitchen actually. Okay, and then you're going to use your awl. Okay, now I need to stand up for this. Hopefully I won't bump the camera. Okay, because I've got to be able to put some, you know, oomph into it. So you can see here, I'm going to put the awl right into about the middle. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring, but I'm going to put it right in the middle. I'm going to close this up, okay, so that it ends up all in the right place. I'm going to push it through as hard as I can. Okay, I can feel it going into the wood. Okay, I can see it coming out right there. Now make sure that your hand is not right there. You don't want it, because it'll go through suddenly. And, gosh, you can have a hole in your hand. Okay, so I'm having it come out between my fingers. That's what works well for me. But be really careful, okay, because you don't want it to, you know, go through your hand. That would be very painful. And I think it would warrant a trip to the hospital, most likely. Okay, so then I'm going to pull it out gently so I don't tear anything. So see how I've got that hole and it goes all the way through. Okay, then I'm going to make my next hole halfway between the top of the page and that hole. I'm not measuring again, I'm just, you know, eyeballing it. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up like this, and I'm pushing it down through till I can feel it hitting the wood that I've got this on. And again, pushing it straight through. Okay, with this closed, you don't want to open it while you're doing this. Okay, so I've got it closed. Okay, I'm pushing it all the way through till it gets to that little, see that, how it's rough right there? Okay. And then I'm going to pull it back out very gently so I don't tear anything. Sometimes I have to put my hand inside there, and that's good. Okay, then the next thing, same thing, about halfway between the center hole and the top of the page. Close it, push it through. Okay, and then push through here. There we go. Okay, and again, be really careful. This is not for kids to do, okay? I mean, if I do this with kids, I would punch the holes for them. I would not let them punch it. Okay, because it's kind of dangerous. I mean, as an adult, I don't think it's dangerous if you're just careful, but I would never, ever, ever let kids do it. Okay, so then you've got your binding material, whatever that is, whether it's yarn. I don't know that I would use yarn. I think that it might not last as well. Well, I have used it on a couple journals, and it's worked okay. I've used baker's twine, which is really cool because a lot of times it comes in other colors. And I use just, regular garden twine, like I showed you. That's probably what I use the most. And then probably the second most thing that I use is this, the little leather stuff. And I'll try to remember to link that for you. Okay, so what we want is 4 times the length of the book. And I actually usually do a little bit more than that because I want to have some charms hanging off of it. That was 3, right? And then 4. Okay, and then just a little bit more because I want to make sure I have enough room for tying knots where I add the charms. Okay, so then I can put this away. All right, so let me get around to my camera again so I can pull up here to the chair. Okay, so then this is where you're going to use your big crewel needle. You're going to thread this, but don't thread it halfway like you would if you're sewing. You're just going to thread it a little ways like this. Okay, you're going to start in the middle. You're still having your book binders on for just a few more minutes here. Start in the middle, poke through that hole, and close your book. Okay, if you have it open, you're not going to poke through the right place on the cover. So poke through there and pull it through almost all the way. Okay, I'll show you in just a second. I want to leave some hanging down so that I can have my danglies and I have enough to tie a knot comfortably. Okay? Sometimes it doesn't go through as easily. Okay, so just, kind of wiggle it and help it go through. Okay, going back in, I'm pushing in there. I can feel it coming through in the center right here. Okay, so I'm going to go in like that and pull it through. And the needle is kind of hard to pull through sometimes with that leather, especially. When I use twine, it's not quite as bad. But with the leather especially, it's kind of hard. Okay, now I want to make sure without pulling my tail here, so I'm going to hold on to that. I want to make sure that I pull this really nice and tight. Okay, it needs to be really snug and hold those pages in snugly against the cover. Okay, then I'm going to go back through the center again. Okay, and come on out. And you can see it's loosened up a little bit here. We're going to tighten that up. Okay, so now I'm going to pull both those ends so I can tighten this right there. Okay, because it'd be hard to tighten later. Then I'm going to go through this hole. I'm going to reach inside and feel and make sure that I can feel that needle coming through. Okay, I've still got it closed like this, pulling it through. And you want to be careful so you don't tear your pages. This is really the hardest part of this whole thing, is just getting that needle through. Otherwise, it's really not bad. Okay, and you can see I've got plenty of tail. I have more than I need. Maybe it was supposed to be 3 and a little extra, not 4. But I can always use the extra leather in other journals for pockets and designs and stuff. Okay, so pull that tight. Okay, and then I'm not going to go back through a hole, but I want to make sure that I've got all these really tight. See how this is too loose right there? Okay, so I'm going to pull on this a little bit to tighten that up. I want to check the outside. That's good. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle, I'm going to stick it underneath here. Okay, so that comes around there, and I'm going to then tie this. Okay, I could actually take it off the needle at that point, but it makes it easier for you to see if I've got the needle. Okay, so I'm tying it there. And sometimes I add a little bit of glue. I might do that, you know, before I go to bed tonight so I can just leave it open. But right now I can't really leave it open because I'm working on it. Okay, so here's the front. I want to do that. Okay, so I'm done with binding it. I'm going to put my needle away. I'm not going to trim these yet because I'm going to add some charms to it. Let me put my needle away. Okay, now one other thing that I was going to add here that I almost forgot was I had one of these. I've got a tutorial. I'll see if I can find it. I learned this from Carol Tinson about making, I think it was Carol Tinson, I'm pretty sure, about making these little book page button things that are just kind of cute. And it's just a nice little thing to add. So I'm going to just add that right there. Use some glue for that. Hopefully this isn't my watery glue. We'll find out. Oh, yes it is. Shoot. Okay, it'll hold it though. And it'll dry clear. So it's okay. All right, so I've got that there. It just adds just a nice little bit of design. Okay, and I want to dry that up. Okay. No, I need like tissues or paper towels. Oh, I've got baby wipes here. That works. I always keep baby wipes at my desk to wipe up ink and paint and stuff. And in this case, glue. All right, let me make sure none got on the back. Yeah, we're okay. Okay. I don't know what was with this. When I ordered it, it was too thin, and they gave me the stuff to return it, but that was right. Bill died right then, and so I never got it returned. So I have it still thinking I can do something to fix it. Okay, so, all right, so we're done with that. We've got our front here, this little thing. I just think that that really adds interest to it. Okay, then let me get my charms that I should have had out. Sorry. Okay, so I've got a bunch of nautical charms. These are so cool. Let's see what we think will be appropriate. I mean, I think definitely either gold or whatever this is, like brass looking thing here. I think that's nice. And I wish they had a sailboat that wasn't silver. Actually, I like this. Well, that's a compass, and this is the steering wheel for a boat. I don't know what they're actually called. Maybe an anchor would be good. Okay, so let's just set these aside. Okay, so then we're going to put this on. It's just really easy. I just do knots. I don't do anything really fancy. Gosh, I have enough here, though, that I could. You know what? Yeah, let's just tie this down here. And okay, so I don't want to leave it hanging too much for a man's journal. Just a little bit there. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Do men like dangly stuff hanging from their journals? I don't know. I think he will. Okay, then I'm thinking that I can just tie this up in there. Okay, and then this one here I'm going to hang the same way, but at a slightly different length. Okay, so about here. So, yeah, I think I am going to cut it off where I've tied the knot rather than having it go into the inside. It's just, it would add way too much bulk. It might work with twine or something, but with what I'm doing, I think it's better just to cut it. Okay, so what I want to do here is I just want to tie a knot up at the top here. So it'll work better for cutting. The knot's not gonna end up way up here, but I just have to have that much space to get the charm through. And then I want to have the knot come down as close, where am I? As close to the charm as I can. Just gives it kind of a, see how that's, it almost looks like a square knot. Maybe it is a square knot. I don't know what a square knot looks like really. I am not, I need to learn to do knots, don't I? Okay, and then I'm going to cut it right there, and I'll put a little dab of glue on it before I go to bed tonight, just to keep that from unraveling and coming through. Okay, and then this one I'm going to do the same thing. I'm moving this down a little bit here. Okay, and then I'm going to just tie a knot in the end there. And then I'll cut that off. Oops. I'll make sure that those ends end up together. There we go. That looks nice, I think. Okay. There we go. And cut that right there. Okay, that's it. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I go to bed, I don't want to do it right now because then I can't show you the journal, but I'll put a little dot of glue right here, not the watery one, and I'll put a little dot right here where I cut off the stuff, and I'll put some right here too. That way they won't come unraveled. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I've got my cover here. I've got little threads hanging out. Got this little thing for added interest. I might write Captain Ken here. And then I've got the back here like this. And then it's just, you know, just this kind of paper. I'm kind of thinking, I might, for a closure, tie this around it. I don't think so. I don't think so. You know what? Actually, yeah. I think I'm going to put a rubber band around it. I would not normally do that, but because he's so into rubber bands around everything, it's just really funny. And I'll put a book on top of this after it's dried overnight, dried the glue. I'll put a book on top of this to make it a little bit flatter. I wonder if I can make it flatter by doing this. Okay, so but see, this took, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or so. Oh, I have another idea for the closure, actually. Is that too lacy? I don't think so. Doesn't look girly, does it? Okay, this actually is kind of like a rubber band. Okay. So, but that's kind of loose, actually. I can sew this closed a little bit. Yeah, so if I wanted to have something like that for a closure, but actually I don't think that I will. I think I like it better just plain. And I'll let him put a rubber band around it if he wants to. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put that glue on it. I've got to get glue from my kitchen. I think that's where my good glue is. So that's it. That's it. I love it. I think he's going to really like it. And it was super easy, you guys. I think, seriously, I think it took like a couple hours of work, you know, and then I had to let the paint dry. That's pretty much it. 2, maybe 3 hours of work. I don't know. Yeah, not very much. Okay, so that's easy. You can, as you can see, you could do all kinds of things with this, with girl type things, with different themes. Just very, very simple. And if you wanted to use like scrapbook paper in here instead of coffee dyed, that would be fine too. That would work great. Okay, I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.